Hey, again, welcome back to my channel. We had some updates on news stories from New York City Transit, and they're not good. First off, from Eyewitness News in New York, the NTA claims now that the losses from fare beating on the New York subway and buses is now reach over $300 million. That's right, $300 million. There can't be a lot of poor people going through the turnstiles. We seen video. Now everybody going through the turnstile, jumping in the back of the bus is poor. Or African American. Minority. A lot of white people too. So, it's not an excuse. You know, it costing this agency a lot of money, and they need the money for the upgrades. They need the money to pay the bills. They need the money to pay the employees. They need the money for the investigations, ongoing investigations, and you're delaying them from getting their money. And they have to make all these necessary cuts in order to make sure that when congestion pricing comes kicking in, that they will not be using that money, in other words, to throw good money at the bad. So Eyewitness News has reported this number, so I didn't make that up. And the other bad news is the signal system. Apparently, a law was passed back in April in order for the signal system to be upgraded on the New York City subway system. They're supposed to have a task force set up to investigate and help put the system in place. Well, it is now November. This task force has not been assembled yet. It's over 3 months late. They were supposed to set up as soon as possible after the April mandate. Now they're 3 months late. Still nothing. And the governor is scared. New York, Andrew Cuomo, he's getting impatient. Basically, he's even questioning about the CBTC. It's not being used on the on the 7 on the L line. He said that stuff was designed with 80 equipment. In other words, 80 technology. Oh gosh. It's like you're using 21st century equipment to do Star Wars from the 1970s. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but on the transit system, now you have a governor question the CBTC. You know what it means? All that money they wasted on that signal system for those 2 lines is more like a waste. Yeah, they improved the lines, but it took too long to put in, built, and now it's also taking too long to do the expansion, which is why they're trying to do the other system that Andrew Bradford suggested, and even the governor is complaining about that one too, because he said, "Oh, they're not authorized to use it." I mean, come on. Let me remind you folks how we got into this mess with the signal system in the first place. Is a lot of these signals had not been replaced like they should have been. I mean, meanwhile, where we're fighting cobwebs and signals that hadn't been inspected properly, your Metro North and Long Island Railroad, they have all the latest upgraded signal systems from ATO all the way up to positive train control, because a lot of it's FRA mandated. They had no choice but to put it in. Of course, some was put in after accidents. And we don't need an accident to put in something in. It's supposed to be common sense. But then again, this is an agency that doesn't have common sense. I mean, you're going around like Frankenstein. Monster. Yes, Frankenstein. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Put together, you have the crazy agency called the NTA. And the funny thing is, our signal system outside the L and the 7 is 19th century garbage, and everybody else is 21st. I mean, even PATH has positive train control. It's a subway. And yes, it has CBTC, but they managed to put the whole thing in without a major problem. So go figure. Is it a problem? Is it that the MTA is so dysfunctional they can't get a simple thing right? I mean, it's like basically it's an agency that screws light bulbs in a different direction so nobody can steal them. But who wants to steal those light bulbs? They're probably crap anyway. Anyway, so far this is what's happening down underground. And of course, patients are running low everywhere, not just in the governor's office. I guess after that embarrassing news story about him, about the Congressman AOC beat him to the punch on the Amazon deal, he has to take it out on someone. So why not the MTA? Anyway, this is Al Cancer Solo for now, and don't forget to stop, and happy Thanksgiving. Take care.